Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So this week I'll be talking about starting your eco journey. What this involves is I'll be going over some concepts regarding how you can live an eco lifestyle, and then in subsequent videos I'll be sharing some tips on how I myself live an eco lifestyle. So just a quick disclaimer, I'm not an expert in living an eco lifestyle, but I do try, and the things I'm sharing today aren't anything new. I believe it's common knowledge, but it's always good to get a refresher. Everyone knows the concept of reduce, reuse, recycle. To add to that, we're going to also refuse and rot. Okay, number one, so we are going to refuse. So what this means is not using certain products at all. So for example, if you're at the checkout and you're offered a plastic bag, say no to the plastic bag because you've brought your own biodegradable, eco-friendly, reusable, sustainable bag. Okay, number two, reduce. I suppose everyone's familiar with this. Unfortunately, we live in a society where we can't completely avoid using certain products. Most things still come in plastic form, but we are improving a lot where things are in a biodegradable packaging, for instance, or they're made out of products that are sustainable. In cases where they're not, the best thing to do is to reduce your use of these products, and by that I mean using them less often or looking for alternatives where possible. An example of reduce is maybe you buy meat quite often. As we know, the meat industry is one of the largest contributors to global warming and climate change. So what we can do is reduce our meat intake and replace it with vegetarian options, maybe at least once a week. Meat-free Mondays, great idea. Okay, number three, reuse. What this means is if you have or purchase a certain product, it's continuing to use that product as often as possible. An example of this could be reusing your shopping bags when you go shopping to avoid buying more bags. Even if they're reusable, sometimes these can end up in landfill, or they're just wasted, or the production process involved in making these bags can still have a negative impact on the environment. Okay, so far we've refused, we've reused, we've reduced, now we recycle. Recycling is quite tricky, I will admit. Not everything can be recycled, and even things that you would think are recyclable, like papers, plastics, and metals, again, only certain plastics and certain papers and certain metals can be recycled. It's really hard, and thanks Oz. For a long time I thought, plastics, if they have that triangle on them with the number in it, that means it's recyclable. Even then, no, not in all cases. Like, certain plastics can be recycled, but that all depends on what your council can and can't handle with their recycling systems. Okay, lucky last is rot. So this point pertains to food products and plant-derived products that can be put into compost with worms and turned into compost. Similar to recycling, it's not as easy as just dumping a whole bunch of stuff into a bin with worms and expecting it all to go wonderfully. There are only certain fruits, vegetables, and plant-derived products that you can actually compost. But if it's something that you would like to start now, there are heaps of resources online to get you started on composting. We've gone over the 5 major points of living an eco lifestyle. So refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and rot. It sounds quite intimidating to live an eco lifestyle, and I fully appreciate that. Like, it's not an overnight thing, and I think that's important to realize. Changing your life in any aspect is going to be a progressive thing, but there are some easy ways to do it, and I hope over the next few weeks and months, me sharing my tips will illuminate ways you yourself can do it. And I would love to hear from you if you have any tips yourself on how I can improve, how we all can improve. Please subscribe, comment below what you thought of this video, and please share your tips. And I'll see you next week. Thank you.